Good evening. It is day 10 of my 90-day public speaking challenge. More than 10% has gone by, and I'm starting to feel a little bit of result. Yay, this is a good thing. We often ask ourselves, how come I was unable to do something? I wish I had had the time. Oh, hey, I didn't make the time to see you. I've been meaning to. I just want you to understand one simple thing. We all have the same 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which means we have the same 168 hours. And what I say to you is going to be an immutable truth. We vote with our feet. What I mean by that is we give energy to those things that we find important. And if we do not, then we don't give them energy. Our feet take us to where we need to go. Our actions show what we find to be important. We vote with our feet. You may be able to chart this, and sometimes this is the engineer, not that I am an engineer, this is the faux engineer because I work with engineers, but you can chart what we do over the course of a day. We vote with our feet. If something is truly important to us, we will make the time to dedicate to it. And that is the nature of commitment. Our hands, our feet, our hearts, our minds, our bodies attune themselves to whatever commitments that we choose to keep. And everything else does not follow suit. If I miss a Toastmasters meeting, if I miss an appointment with a friend or whatever, the underlying reason is something else was more important, or something else got in the way. Whereas perhaps I did not plan as well as I should have, perhaps I procrastinated on taking care of a task that I should have devoted time and energy to before. I had to make up that time and energy and take it away from something else. Again, we vote with our feet. So how do we maintain our commitments to the things that we find important? Well, we end up figuring a way to prioritize them. I'm doing better at that. And before I get too deeply into the conversation, there are thousands of web pages devoted to prioritizing their time, your time, my time, so that we can achieve the results that we want. Too often, though, we overcommit and think that we can cram more time into more activities into our lives. And it usually doesn't work out well. There was a study back in 2012, I believe, by the Pew Institute that said we, using smartphones, are attempting to cram 36 hours of activity into 24 hours of time, which means for every 2 days of real time, we are attempting to focus, we are attempting to cram 3 days worth of effort into it. And it's not sustainable. So we see things break down for us, and we come to conclusions that we can't keep our commitments. Over the next 81 days, I imagine, or the next 80 days, I imagine I will be discovering, along with you, ways to maximize my time. I've gotten to do to-do lists, and sometimes I find them to be very effective, and other times I find myself struggling with them. Here is one of my tips for prioritizing. Doing the thing that I fear the most earlier in the day so that I have more time to devote to it, and if the task ends up being shorter, then I have much more time to devote to the things that I either enjoy or fear less. But again, and for the last time, we vote with our feet, and we give energy to the things that we find most important. When you listen to someone say, oh, hey, I didn't make this call or I didn't come see you, it's because somewhere in their life, they voted with their feet to do something else. Maybe their heart was in the right place, and I would suspect that generally it is. But somehow they got off track. Be kind to them, because it's going to happen to you as well. We vote with our feet. Make sure your feet are taking you to the places that you need to go, because we all have commitments, and every day we've got to meet them, or try to. That's it for tonight. I've got to head into work. Sayonara.